Hi, everyone. My name is Aaron Wadwa. It's terrific to have you all here. Welcome. We have a special treat in store for you all today with this discussion on how to make your business go viral on TikTok. A quick note on format, which is very simple. There will be 30 to 40 minutes of moderated discussion followed by audience Q&A. At any point, if you want to have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat in the bottom right-hand corner. And of course, a lot of you are already reacting to the emojis. Try to resist throwing tomatoes there, but keep the applause up. We're thrilled to have this exclusive discussion with Shelby Limegruber, who was in the room when TikTok launched in 2018 and has helped numerous accounts to grow over 500K followers from scratch. We're excited to hear the strategies behind our viral campaigns and what it takes to have your business go viral on TikTok. So without further ado, Shelby, I'd love to welcome you to the stage.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron, for that warm introduction. I'm Shelby, for all of you that don't know me, and we'll go ahead and jump right into it. I have a couple slides to follow along with our presentation today. So, are we good? Can we all see these slides? We're good to go. Okay, perfect. Ooh, slideshow. All right. It's just a little bit of background for everybody to know what we're going to get into today in the discussion. I'll go into some introductions about me, who I am, what I've done, and kind of where TikTok even began. And then we'll jump into the strategies and tactics of actually growing your TikTok and launching your account. And then at the end, we'll save some time for some live Q&A so you guys can ask me all your burning questions and the secrets of the algorithm, and I'll help you as much as I can. So get ready to reach the world. TikTok is ginormous. It is a fantastic platform. It's the only one of its kind, as you all know, because you're all here. It's super cool, and I just love talking about it. So this is a little bit of background on the timeline of TikTok. As Aaron mentioned, me and my brother were both in the room when TikTok had launched. This was in 2007, at the end of 2017 and 2018. TikTok was a completely overseas company. They only had 3 individual employees that actually they'd brought over to the US to launch TikTok in the US. It was a really, really crazy time. Essentially, they were like just throwing money and everything that they possibly could to launch TikTok as large as they possibly can. And what my role was to bring influencers onto the platform. So my background, I've been working in influencer marketing for the better part of 8.5, 9 years now. Some of the things I started on was in the Vine days. We started building an API of YouTube accounts that we later sold to Facebook. And then in 2018, I worked directly with ByteDance on the TikTok launch. But essentially what TikTok wanted was to pay and bring influencers onto the platform. They knew that we had access to influencers on YouTube. It was even kind of before we had Instagram influencers, but it was before like short form video was really a thing other than, previous Vine days. So that was in 2018. And then shortly after that, in October of 2018, ByteDance, reached a record breaking $75 billion valuation. And then in 2020, it surpasses 2 billion downloads, which is insane. It was one of the largest quarterly records of downloads, even on the, iOS and Android App Store. And then up to 2021, TikTok actually took over Google as the most visited website on the internet. So that was just like groundbreaking, just setting the stage for how massive TikTok is. So let's think about it from a business perspective. TikTok, if you don't know this, but TikTok has 2 billion monthly active users worldwide. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if my clientele, my business users are on TikTok, 2 billion monthly active users. I guarantee you that they're on there. You just have to figure out a way to get in front of the right people and the right users and the right people for your product. This is a specialty of mine, and I can't wait to walk you all through it. Just a little bit of background about me. I personally have grown my accounts over 1 million followers. I've grown business accounts to 500K plus followers. The TikTok algorithm is always changing. So the strategies on like how to go viral, how to actually build an account, change just about every single month because that's how frequently the TikTok algorithm resets. But this is just some background about me. I also have one of the only free courses out there. This is probably a little bit dated now, but free courses out there on how to build your personal brand on TikTok. It's on Influencer Marketing Hub. You can go and check it out now. This video here was a video that I was just a year or two ago in New York. This video had over a couple million views. It was just talking about TikTok, talking about business in a street interview on New York. So it was really cool. And I work with all the brands below, running everything from influencer campaigns to short form video campaigns to TikTok campaigns. And I love working with brands and startups. So all this fun talk about TikTok, but on TikTok, no one, as far as the content goes, no one really cares about your startup on TikTok. To really pop off on TikTok and to make your videos go viral, the people want entertaining but and sometimes informative content. So how do we spin this for you and your brand? I'll jump into the basics, the algorithm, and then I'll show you some examples, and then I'll talk about how you can use your views and from TikTok to actually transition into traditional press and media outlets, which I've done before as well. So we'll start with the basics. Why TikTok? TikTok is the only type of algorithm that has the kind of reach that it does. A single viral TikTok can reach more views than a Super Bowl ad, and that's insane. Content can essentially explode overnight, which is why it's so amazing. If you want to really go on TikTok and watch TikTok, you'll realize that the videos that get rewarded on TikTok are the ones that are really raw and engaging, less polished. We, as brands, we're always we should have a certain image, or we want something to be professionally edited. I actually tell my brands that authenticity is rewarded on TikTok. So point and shoot, behind the scenes, this kind of stuff is what actually, does really well on TikTok. So I always recommend to the brands that I work with is, take risks. TikTok is the platform to take risks. And a lot of times, when we're going outside of our comfort zone, of our content comfort zone, I tell them, we likely will get rewarded by that kind of content on TikTok. So TikTok versus traditional marketing, as you guys know, traditional media campaigns commercials and things like that are really, really expensive. TikTok is free if you do it yourself, or you can go the paid route of using influencers and all that stuff. Traditional marketing, traditional media outlets, everyone sees the highly polished stuff, doesn't feel authentic. They know you paid for it. TikTok is different. You could be authentic. They can get rewarded for actually seeing the behind the scenes of your brand. And traditional marketing outlets are still kind of limited. Even if you pay for a commercial, right? Even a Super Bowl commercial, you know how many users or people it's getting in front of. But on TikTok, there's this thing that can happen, which is so incredible. It's your video can reach what I call God mode, and it gets so many views that everyone in the world has basically seen it or heard about it, or some version of your video. So I don't know, it's just a great platform all around. So tactics that I've already won with and that you can be thinking about. So this is an account that I grew. This was a women's health brand. We sold women's health products, everything from UTI, drink mix to test strips to pain relief to now, feminine products and all kinds of things. This was in 2020. This was at the time where pretty much anything could go viral. But at that time, that was the algorithm. That was we just had to make really great videos about the brand and do something that other people weren't talking about, and we were consistently going viral. Now it's a little bit of a different game. You have to be a little bit more targeted in the type of videos that you make and making sure that you're making videos for the right audience for your content. So you have to be strategic with keywords, and being consistent with your posting schedule to really do super well and have consistent growth on TikTok. And the growth speed is a little bit slower now than it was back in the glory days of 2020, but you can still really, really win. this is a secret that, maybe you guys know, maybe you don't know. If you've posted on TikTok previously and you already, started an account, but it didn't really pop off the way that you'd like it to, start fresh. Like, I call this a new account boost or a noob boost. Every single TikTok account has like a early account boost. So if your brand already started, but then you guys stopped or you fell off or you had somebody doing it and you decided not to have them do it anymore, just start fresh. And not a lot of people know this, but you can grow faster as a creator account than a business account. So if you're trying to get as many followers as possible, as fast as humanly possible, start as a creator. Even if you're going to turn it into a business account later, just leave it as a creator account, grow as much as you can, post as consistently as you can. And then once you've already gotten some followers, then you can switch it over to a creator account. Everybody should know running ads does slow your organic growth. You'll get put into the TikTok bucket of a business account rather than the creator account. TikTok wants to reward their creators with giving them views, giving them For You page time. If you're a business account and you already started paying TikTok and running ads on your account itself, you get put in this box of a business account on TikTok that TikTok can make money from, and you're not going to hit that. Like, you could potentially, if you really had something magical, really a magical viral video, you're not going to hit that God mode, that like really exponential growth, unless your creator account or unless your business account did something really special, which isn't possible. But don't get stuck in the trap. Start as a creator first, grow like hell, and then you can switch it over to a business. Nailing your niche, really important. Don't be afraid to niche down and do research about what people are already talking about or posting about of whatever your business is. Let's say it's mortgages. Let's say your business is, healthcare, or like something really, really specific, or like an AI agent. Like, go type that into TikTok and scroll through. You can filter by most liked and the amount of time. So like this month or the last 3 months, you can filter through that, scroll through what people are already posting about. Like, TikTok's been around for years now, and everybody has made a video about pretty much anything. So what's already gone viral, don't reinvent the wheel. What's already performed in your niche, and how can you make it over again, but spin it just a little bit to fit your brand or you specifically on TikTok. So don't reinvent the wheel. Go do some research. You can actually use TikTok basically as a search engine and see what people are already posting about. Every word and hashtag matters. So having captions on your videos, even having hidden captions on your videos. Hashtags don't matter as much, but it helps when you're first starting on a brand new account for TikTok to understand what your videos are actually be about. It's controversial. Some people say that they matter. Some people say that they don't. I think that they're helpful. I think that they do matter. But think about what's one hashtag or keyword that defines your brand or defines you as a person or defines your company, and try and be consistent with using that word a lot in your videos, because it will help kind of categorize your videos and get you in front of the right users that are on TikTok to watch about you and your brand. Now we'll go into the algorithm. Engaging and relatable content. I already talked about this. Don't be afraid to be a little bit of silly, lean into the memes, the humor, participate in the trends here and there. We all watch TikTok every day. We understand like what people actually want. The other thing is educational content. So making how-to guides, tutorials, like people are using, I don't know if you guys use TikTok the way that I do. I'm sure that all of you do, but you can type in to TikTok best restaurants in, X city, or how do I do blank thing, and scroll through videos of people doing that same thing. Kind of like how we go to YouTube for YouTube tutorials. People are using TikTok for this now. So if you're a company that's doing something kind of new, don't be afraid to jump into the educational style of content. Interactive community-driven content. Everybody's talking about it. UGC. Having people, real people, users, make videos about your brand and posting those on TikTok. I like to see it. I like to see other people using the brands that I like and look at every single day. I would like to see how real people interact with it. I would like to see how different people are using the products in ways that I could be using it. So if you've heard about UGC before, if you haven't heard about it, you should look into it and think about it. Think about if UGC is a good fit for your brand. Are you B2B company, BDC company? What kind of users are going to actually be using your product? How do we make content like that looks authentic for your brand with users? These are just all different ways that you can use the algorithm. This is creator search insights. This is, you can type into the search algorithm of TikTok, creator search insights, and it will come up with this kind of search bar, and it shows you what's trending on that topic, where there's a content gap, what's rising, what's dropping on the topic. So like, for example, you can type in healthcare, like these are topics that people are typing in, and that videos that are actually doing well on TikTok. This is a tool for everybody to use. You can just type it in your TikTok right now. A lot of people don't know about it. If you're fresh to TikTok, this is like a secret of like where the algorithm is at right now. Some live examples. Staples just started their TikTok. They're doing a really great job with SEO and finding strategic influencers. If you type in Staples, you can see, you can comb through their hashtag strategy. You can comb through some of their actual users, their actual employees that are making videos on behalf of Staples, and they're growing exponentially. They're doing a great job. They're a brand that everybody knows. And then they're also partnering with related companies and typing in the comments of other companies that are related to them, creating some fun back and forth. They're doing a great job. Everybody's seen Duolingo, but they are like the God mode of TikTok when actual businesses started on TikTok. People keep coming back. They're using comedy on their side. They're targeting Gen Z. Everybody knows this Duolingo bird because they are using the trends and whatever's popular in their videos, and it's really rewarding them in a great way. Skittles. What Skittles could be doing better? They are clearly promoting their videos. They're clearly making them look like an ad. They aren't super consistent in their timeline of their posting, and they're not always using the full screen. These are super easy ways to just like do better on your TikTok. And they don't have something consistent that people are coming back for. So just food for thought for, creating your own TikTok accounts. So some press and media secrets, and this is my last thing. When I grew the account for the women's health company, we actually reached out to traditional press outlets to talk about our TikTok growth and have them cover it. So this is just an example of some outreach that you could do once you've already, created some views on TikTok, and then you can actually get traditional PR from TikTok itself, because it's just a great way to showcase how many people are looking at your brand and how relevant you are. It's just another way to even get these traditional media sources, because I know it's really hard to get featured in Vogue, but we did it through our TikTok growth. So it is a possibility for you and your brand as well. And then this is my last little thing, little secrets. If you see this, promote a video to get more views, just write that video off, all right? And never promote it. Once you promote it, you get stuck in the bucket of promoting your videos forever, and you might not like actually ever get to be on God mode because it thinks that it can make more money from you. So just ignore it, move on, make the next video. Always turn on closed captions. Creating a new account. Your video quality is key. Make sure that your audio resolution, your pixels are high. Ideally, you're in a perfect world, you're using a great camera, upgraded iPhones, updated to the latest, softwares and all the things. And then focus on creating videos with SEO in mind about your brand rather than the trends themselves. Algorithm hacking. So we really want people to engage with your video within the first 3 seconds of them watching it. And in a perfect world, we want to create an engaging enough video that they watch all the way through, because then it gets shown to the next cohort of people. So making sure that your hook is on point, trying different hooks to engage people in the first 3 seconds, and then keeping them engaged through the end of the video, and then making sure that you're posting at peak times when your audience is most active. Sometimes I have 2 that are my secrets. I like 8 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's just what works for me. Everybody can has different opinions, but that's what works for me. And that brings me to the end of it. There's so much more. I could ramble about this for hours, but I want to make sure that I have enough time to go over some questions and things to talk about your specific brands. So I will I'll let some questions come about. Thank you.
Hi, Howard Lerman here, casual observer of founding companies and amateur musician. Quick question from the Peanut Gallery. Suppose hypothetically one were to have a like 11 or 12-year-old daughter that just produced a music video and she wanted to launch that on TikTok. How would you recommend we do that if that video exists?
Well, I think that she would be really rewarded by going into the behind the scenes of the video. So you can launch the video on TikTok itself and then go into the behind the scenes of how she wrote the song, what inspired it, how long she's been in it, because they really want to see the master behind the music itself. So don't be afraid to write in public or to build in public or to sing in public on TikTok. So I think just make sure that she's oversharing about her
Well, and Shelby, I really appreciate that advice, in terms of behind the scenes. It's really, oversharing is really a thing. As if for those of you that follow Roam, you may know that I literally on the dot every first of the month overshare all of our metrics and our financial metrics, and that gets some of the best engagement that I've seen in any socials.
Yes, we should. All right, let's see if there's some other questions. Do I anticipate the algorithm changing a meaningful amount? Yes, absolutely. I do. I think that the algorithm changes weekly, sometimes monthly. It just depends. The algorithm is always changing. So the best way to do it is to be on TikTok all the time and refresh your algorithm and create fresh accounts for yourself and watch fresh For You pages to see what they're rewarding, what kind of content they're rewarding, to kind of get, the secret scoop on what TikTok is rewarding on their public algorithms right now. We have another voice question. Go ahead, Julie.
I was going to ask, it's so hard to choose a niche. Like, what's the process of selecting one if you want to be a content creator that covers a lot of different topics?
That's a great question. What can you ramble about? Where is your zone of genius where it's not going to feel like a chore to make content every day? A rut that a lot of creators get stuck in is they get themselves pigeonholed where they can't just like point and shoot a video, and then they have like, fatigue when they're trying to think of a script, or like it doesn't feel easy for them. So the best thing that you can do is just talk about something that's really natural to you and figure out a topic that like feels right and that you would be happy to make videos about, or something that's easy for you to recreate.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have another voice question in the queue.
Hi, Shelby. Thanks. It's been a great session so far. Question, we're starting off a D2C watch brand, a global brand, and till now we've not considered TikTok as a platform, but I think after your session we definitely must. So what would be some tips or guidance that you would say starting off in terms of content? We like the educational, but we plan to do a lot of that on Instagram.
Yeah.
But how would you say we should start off the first 3 to 6 months on a business account?
If you're already creating educational content on Instagram, I would create a version of that educational content on TikTok too. Like educate the people. People love about watches specifically. People love the history. People love the how to pick the right watch. I think like I know I have two brothers who love watches very much and they're always consuming watch videos. So I think start on the education route. If you're already thinking about that as a content strategy, you can do that on TikTok. But like I said, go on TikTok itself, type in, watches or type in, the type of watches that you guys are selling, or, I know that there's a bunch of different brands and all the things. Scroll through the videos that are already popping off in the last two to 3 months, and see if there's a way that you can spin those hooks or those topics for your brand. Just do the research and what's already going off out there.
Got it. Thanks. And is there a way to target better if you're looking at certain markets?
As far as like geolocation, is that the question?
Yes. Yes.
So, your videos are going to be shown to local audiences first. So wherever you're posting from, it's going to be shown to the local audience first. So I'm in Miami, it would get pushed to a Miami user base first. So whoever's posting the videos, make sure that they're in a perfect world, they're in a city or location that you want to be selling in. So like maybe New York City or something like that. Yeah.
Hey, Shelby.
Hi.
John here from the Rome team, amateur TikToker, fellow millennial. Question about shadow banning.
Yeah.
That phrase comes up a lot. How do you know if your account's been quote unquote shadow banned versus just poor retention and activity? And if you are shadow banned or are seeing poor retention, is it worth starting a new account?
So yes, you will know if your videos are shadow banned if you're stuck in like 200 view jail. There isn't like a real reason why your account would get shadow banned. Sometimes it gets flagged for a video and then you're stuck in this hole. I have actually broken out of the 200 view jail by just killing the algorithm with the sheer number of videos. We got stuck in 200 view jail and we started doing 4 or 5 posts a day, and then we had a viral video, and then we were out of like viral in the sense like it got like 20K views, and then we were out of 200 view jail. So it depends. We had to endure our jail for our shadow ban for about a month. That felt like an okay amount of time. If you're in it for more than a month, I would say probably consider starting a new account. But it's just kind of up to the creator of how long feels long enough to be stuck there. Next question.
Yeah, so thanks for the presentation. It was great. Was quickly wondering, have you seen any B2B brands do well, like when they're selling software? And then when they start, is it more effective to start as the actual business account, or like individuals that just so happen to be posting content, and then like you weave in the content about the account as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of B2B on TikTok already. I would say definitely start as a creator account first, and make videos about your brand, or make videos about your product, or make videos as behind the scenes of building your brand. A lot of if the product itself, the use case of it won't go viral, then seeing the behind the scenes of actually building a company, building a B2B brand, talking about the storyline of why you've started the company. They like to see who's behind the scenes of the B2B companies, because TikTok ultimately is like a consumer app, but I mean it has 2 billion monthly active users. So your users for your B2B brand are out there, but you just have to get in front of them in a creative way that isn't probably just showcasing the product itself. I can take a look through and send you some example accounts in the future if you want to send me an email of like some B2Bs to have a look at.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you. This is great.
Sure.
Yeah, hi Sylvie, this is Syed. One good question is that how is the growth in TikTok? Like the movie get the growth, or is there any limit to it posting? So what's your take on that? Yes.
Any limit on number of videos to posting, or any limit on growth? There's definitely no limit of the number of videos that you can post per day. I have some creator friends that are posting like 10 to 15 videos per day. I think that that's excessive. I think 1 to 2 times a day is plenty. And then as far as growth goes, I don't necessarily think there's a limit, but maybe I'm not answering your question properly. Are you asking about the growth from TikTok transferring to like another platform?
No. Specifically to the TikTok, like the movie post, the movie grow, or how is it?
Is it linear? So, in short, yes. Like the TikTok is gonna reward an account that's posting consistently. It's not necessarily like the numbers. It's about like if you can give TikTok a specific amount of videos every single day or every single week about a specific topic, and people are actually watching those videos, then you're gonna be rewarded more and more the more users that you get. And that TikTok can rely on your account as an outlet for videos in under this particular niche. But I mean, ultimately, you want as many shots on goal as humanly possible because you have no idea. I have no idea what kind of videos about your brand is actually going to go viral. So if you can be posting, not necessarily you specifically, but maybe you have UGC creators, 50 videos a month, like trying different hooks, trying different topics, I would absolutely recommend that. And then you can kind of niche down after you've already figured out a topic or a hook that's like working for you guys.
Understood. Got it. Thank you so much.
Sure. Next question.
Hi, Shelby. My name is Dimitri. I own a virtual medical assistant agency. And I've got two questions. So, one is part of my business. I am naturally wanting to market to two audiences. One, the providers themselves, and then two, the potential virtual medical assistants that would be joining our team. Would you recommend two separate accounts or no?
Yeah.
Keep them together.
Keep them together while you're growing. I mean, it's really up to you, but I would say just keep kind of two different topic umbrellas when you're creating your content, and like have a clear vision in your mind when who the video is for when you're creating the video. But I would say because they're all under your brand, you can keep them all on one account.
Okay, perfect. And then we've created an account mainly so that no one takes our name on TikTok. But we haven't posted anything. Does that mean we should be creating a new account to start?
No, if there hasn't been any videos up yet, you can just start posting. It's about when your first video is posted.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy Wednesday, Shelby. Thanks for your presentation. Question for you. Can you talk about your AI process or automation, or like using tools like Opus to streamline the process and constantly putting those videos right in front of the audience?
So TikTok does not like third-party like apps used in their accounts. So I mean, as far as like AI automation, you can have AI help you with like hooks and topics and things like that. But I wouldn't really recommend using any AI products like for like automatic posting or like automatic like pushing to different algorithms. That, I mean, you could try it. I mean, there's always new products that are coming out, but anything that I've seen with TikTok specifically, it sometimes accounts get shadow banned if you're using like a third party like app or something like that to help push your videos out. So it's just not my best practices recommendations, but I know there's a lot of new things coming out, and it's always changing. So I'd have to use it and see if that
So you're doing, yeah, it does. So you're manually uploading every single video for each client? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we have a team that do it, or we have if we're bringing it in-house, then we'll hire an intern or like a head of TikTok or something like that to do all the manual posting and everything. Yeah, always manual. While you're growing at the beginning, once you're already, your account's at already a good spot, like then you could potentially have somebody have some sort of AI automation. But yeah, I always recommend doing it manually to start.
one more question. What about prompting for ideas, prompt structure to fast track your manual process? That way, it doesn't take you, let's say, 30 minutes. Because the video could be really shot correctly, but when it comes to the proper words, incitements, animation, things of that nature to pop, can you walk us through that process?
Well, so to make video topics and things like that, what I do in my viral process is I will do research within my niche on TikTok or Instagram Reels, and then I will kind of put all the videos that got over, some amount of views, like 50K views or something in my niche, into a spreadsheet, and then each of the videos I will go in and watch and write down what the hook was or what the topic covered, and then I'll put all these hooks into a spreadsheet, and then I'll give one of my AIs, Claude or ChatGPT or something, background about my brand, and then everything that it could possibly know, and then background about each of the 50 videos that got over 50,000 views on TikTok, and all the hooks that had popped off for those. This is a large process, but this is actually my real process. Background about each of the topics of the videos and every single hook that got over 50,000 views, and then I will have AI help write me ideas for other hooks and things like that I could try, because like I said in the presentation, like things are always going viral. Like nothing, like it's been around for years now. Something about your topic has already popped off before. So like, how can we take whatever's already getting views about your topic and change it just a little bit to fit, your persona or your brand?
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Next question.
I'm doing several things, but on the side, I vibe coded an app to monetize your pet called Paw Tap. It's a fun gaming app, and so the front camera turns on, records your pet when like they're playing this game. And I was like so skeptical, but it actually works. And so it's kind of cool, super cute, and I want to launch it as a global app. So because there's cats and dogs all over the world, right? So what's a good strategy if I want to launch, not just in the US, but also in China and South Korea?
Yeah.
And how would you structure such a launch?
Well, definitely going the UGC route and user generated content, having like rewarding people for uploading their videos. Like if you wanted to launch an account, and I would say if there's a way that you can reward your users for sending in their videos, or maybe you send emails out, if all of the videos and things like that like transmit back to like a database or something that you have access to, like you can like send like rewards out, like, hey, can we use this for our, like, we love this video, it's so cute, like we'll give you a 1-month subscription free if we can post this on our socials. So like blast that out to like your favorite 200 videos that you've gotten in, and then post the best performers on your account. I mean, it sounds like there's already like a user generated video kind of funnel that you're creating even within the app.
Yes.
So I would just get the permissions from whoever owns the video of their pet to blast it out on your own socials, and then just keep posting. And then I mean, start local first. Like let's see if we get your video and it's your first account in your specific city to go viral, and then you could run some sort of process like in your specific global city.
But part of the process, I mean, this is also an effort not to get shadow banned as a topic here, and as a common topic. So how can you collect user permissions from the get-go, so that way you kind of have authority as a third-party app to auto post for on behalf of the users, TikTok or IG, for example?
It could be in your terms and conditions, I think.
Okay.
I would have to check, but I'm pretty sure if you put it in the terms and conditions, like you.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're probably fine.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Shelby, thank you so much.
Hey.
My name is Scott, and I work with content creators, specifically helping them like build their businesses for the info space. So courses, masterminds, things along those lines. So what we find is that like organic across any social channel like significantly reduces our cost per lead. But often I find that like the folks that I work with are a little bit more hesitant to get onto TikTok, where they might have some decent traction on YouTube and probably a little bit stronger on Instagram. Like what are some, and considering that time is really like the #1 element that they don't have a lot of, like can you help me like make a business case, kind of like you've already done, as to why TikTok is absolutely necessary, for these creators to be on?
They're missing out on 50 to 100 million free impressions. They're already taking the time and making this content. They need to understand the grand scheme of how many users are on TikTok, and they don't necessarily have to make unique content for TikTok if they're already creating on YouTube or things like that. Like you could help them hire like a TikTok editor on Fiverr or something like that if you don't want to get somebody who's like actually in the US, but just to edit their videos in like a TikTok format, and then posting the videos for them. But I would just explain to them TikTok is 2 billion monthly active users. 2 billion monthly active users. It's an insane number, and it's only growing. So yeah, they're just missing out on free impressions if they want more sales on their course, like monetarily. 50 million free impressions if they just repost their stuff on TikTok, even if they think it's a little bit cringe. Everybody thinks TikTok's a little bit cringe. That's kind of the whole point of TikTok. So just, they need to get over the hump and understand the vastness of the landscape that's out there for them.
So first of all, thank you.
Of course,
One
yeah.
thing that you said about your process and it being like making sure that you're doing it manually, I want to avoid this idea because I feel like we've seen this experience in the past on other platforms. When you just try to take one piece of content, repurpose it across
Yeah.
multiple channels, a lot of times it just falls flat. Like gone are the days that's really effective. At least I haven't seen it recently. So like, does it have to be native? Like, does it have everything have to happen in TikTok, or do you just need to edit it in a certain aspect ratio to make sure it's fitting TikTok's requirements?
And best practices is that it's all shot in TikTok. That's like best practices. I have seen that as long as it's edited and it's formatted for TikTok, even if it's not necessarily an original piece, I would recommend that the videos get posted on TikTok first, so that the TikTok algorithm and the TikTok app is the first one to see the content, and then you can repurpose to other platforms thereafter that. But as long as it's edited in like like fast cuts, like TikTok way, and formatted properly, then I would say that they're fine to do that rather than shooting in the TikTok app and editing in the TikTok app and adding. I would always add the captions though. Always add the captions in the TikTok app because it helps for categorization.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We have one more, I think. Oh, here we go. Here's our question.
Am
Hi.
I able to ask another question?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
All right, can you cover the SEO strategy with the keywords and monetization? That's just 2 questions. Sorry.
Yeah, of course. So, you can think about SEO on TikTok just as you'd think of SEO on Google. What are people typing in to arrive at your brand? Think about it in like your buckets. What are the buckets of topics that people would type in, and arrive at your brand? So let's say it's a fitness app and it's like calorie tracking, workouts, like, food ideas, and like, Pilates workout plans or something, whatever. Think about the topics in the buckets that are applicable to your brand, and think about what people will be typing in on TikTok, like as a search engine, like how to, do a Pilates workout at home, best, meal plans if I want to build lean muscle mass and lose fat. Like, think about those and then make videos with the correct words that people would be searching for those topics on TikTok itself. It's basically the same as Google. People are using TikTok as their Google nowadays. Like they're literally typing in like where to go in specific cities and like how to do things. So just think about it in the exact same way that you think about traditional SEO, but in video format.
What about the modern day SEO with AI? So within Claude, ChatGPT, Grok, things of that nature to get your business to pop up inside there, in addition to having TikTok recommended within those platforms as well.
I mean, well, getting your business to pop up in the AIs. I can go on for this. This is actually not TikTok specific, but answering a secret that I've seen, answering questions on Reddit and recommending your business is one place to get it show up in the AI algorithms. TikTok itself, I mean, TikTok's a different beast. To get your business to show up first about, you know, your specific topic. But as far as like showing up in the AI algorithms, making sure that you're making videos that are answering questions that are commonly asked on on Google or on the internet, and you make videos answering those topics, and then your video might get shown as a suggestion as an answer to that topic, both when you type in on Google and potentially in the AIs. But yeah, that's, I don't know if that answers your question, but
It does. Appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, that was a super engaging presentation. Let's throw a bunch of Romojis from the chat for Shelby. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you,
great
guys.
presentation. I'm going to drop Shelby's contact information in the chat as well, so everybody has access to it. But thank you so much for that presentation. Again, you all may have seen that this was used by our 9th tool, which is coming out pretty soon. That registration page that you saw there is on air, which we'll be releasing pretty soon for everybody. So excited to see that. You all will be able to host webinars directly here, track registration, do blasts, all of that. Look forward to those details. But yeah, until next time.
Bye, everybody.
Everyone.